Israel could launch a ground offensive at any hour after warning hundreds of thousands to leave Gaza. Many residents are heeding that message and heading south with no one there to help them. Ian Lee reports on the war from Tel Aviv.
Israel hasn't pulled back on its aerial assault on Gaza, as the country's ground troops amass at the border, preparing for a probable escalation of the war. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu asked soldiers if they were ready.
There are still sirens sounding here in Tel Aviv more than a week after Hamas launched its surprise attack. Shell-shocked residents are awaiting what's next.
Palestinians are scrambling to leave Gaza. The United Nations says almost 1 million residents have been displaced since the war started, with many following Israel's warning to flee.
I just have to have the thought of me dying in a bomb in Gaza.
But the only exit from Gaza, the Rafah border crossing into Egypt, remains closed.
There's no place safe in here in Gaza Strip.
American Haneen Okal is desperately trying to get out with her 3 children to join her husband in New Jersey.
All U.S. citizens are feeling abandoned and feeling that they are left alone.
Some are taking shelter at UN schools. Hamas has told residents to remain in their homes.
Hamas is a terrorist group. Its only agenda is to destroy the state of Israel and to murder Jews.
President Biden spoke at a gala about the war.
A week ago, we saw hate manifested another way in the worst massacre of Jewish people since the Holocaust.
And this morning, Israel's border with Lebanon is also on high alert. Ian Lee, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Over 13 people have died in Israel and more than 2,200 in Gaza. 29 Americans were killed and 15 are still missing. And across the country this weekend, protests are being held over the conflict in Israel. This weekend marked the first Shabbat gatherings for Jewish people since the brutal attack that sparked the war. Throughout the country, there's been stepped up security at houses of worship.
Can I mourn my uncle without having to convince everybody that he's human and he deserves to be known and not be in, I don't know if I can even say this, in pieces on the street?
I lost 5 friends and colleagues at the recent attack. Just today, one of my friends who was missing, we've heard that he was found dead on the ground.
Officials say despite the growing tensions there's no immediate or credible threat to U.S. security.